Let's talk today about maintaining your personal power, especially in these times that we're in, chaos and confusion. Those of you who are working on your inner self to empower yourself, to be the best version of yourself that you can possibly be, are no doubt being faced with spiritual battles everywhere you go. I speak from experience. As a survivor of all kinds of abuse my entire life, I've had to learn how to assert my power, that I even have power to begin with, and how to keep it going, because my whole life I've been tested over and over and over, and in this time especially. The things that I've gained in my life to understand who I am, and that I'm not someone who deserves to be treated lower than other people, to be walked upon, to be manipulated, to be gaslit, to be abused, has been through personal experience and through rising up in empowerment and resilience in everything that I am. I've written a book on the subject called Thunderbird Rising, and it's my survival story, which is a memoir of resilience, empowerment, and reconnection. The main reconnection being to myself, to becoming whole again. But that also includes to my ancestry, indigenous lines, Viking lines, all the things that I pull from my ancestry who are who I am. So let's get into it. How do you maintain and assert your power in this day and age? Number one, put yourself first. Put yourself first above all other things. Some may say that's selfish, but is it really? Because when you put yourself first, you don't allow others to treat you like a doormat. You don't allow others to walk all over you. You don't allow others to disrespect your personal space or your integrity or to devalue your worth. And unfortunately, especially as women, we are taught that we are beneath men, that we don't matter, that they come before us. I come from a matriarchal tradition, which means that the women used to always run things. That means the women had the final say, and the men had to go to the women, to the elders, to the matriarchs to get permission for anything. A woman even had the power within a relationship that if she wasn't happy with how her man was treating her or how he was providing, all she had to do was place his moccasins outside of their home. And he couldn't argue with her. He just had to pick up his belongings and leave. Things changed through the era of colonization for the worse. And now we find ourselves steeped in a world where women are placed at the bottom and men are placed at the top. Men are making all these decisions. So I come to speak on these topics as a woman who often finds myself alone with a handful of friends scattered throughout the world. But what do I have intact? The things that were always tried to be taken from me by others? My respect, my self-worth, my integrity, my confidence, my connection with my ancestors, my ambition to be the one who breaks those intergenerational traumas and hardships within our family, the one who's creating generational wealth, the one who has a reputation of taking no bullshit from anybody. And that was hard earned because I spent the first 18 years of my life protecting my abuser. I spent the next 7 years of my life with an abusive partner. And during all of that time, I believed that I was ugly. I hated my life. And I hated those people that I was forced to be with, or whom I thought I was forced to be with because of societal standards and because I was a child and not able to get out of those situations on my own. So when you put yourself first, you are not allowing those sorts of energies to have control over you anymore. And I understand that that might be difficult for us as a society where mostly all of us are taught that people pleasing is what we are supposed to do. You're put in the schools and you're taught to recycle everything that teacher tells you and never to think or to question what they tell you. You're taught to memorize what they say, even though half of what they're teaching you is lies. And you regurgitate that information into tests which score how well you can mindlessly believe everything that they say. That's where it begins. And it begins within your family unit that teaches you that children are meant to be quiet and not have a voice. Many of us are taught that abuse is normal, but we as a people who are empowering ourselves have to move away from those structures, from those beliefs, from those lies. So number one, put yourself first. Number two, to maintaining your power from my personal experience. And this comes from my traditional way of life. What I've learned from the Lakota, Dakota, indigenous bloodlines that I carry. We all come with an array of helpers in the spirit world. I used to have dreams when I was going through these horrible things in my life. In these dreams, I would be walking through hell. I'd be walking over bones. And when I looked behind me, there was a giant bat that was chasing me, always trying to destroy me. These were recurring dreams that never went away. And my reality and my waking life reflected that. I was in a horrible situation, horrible relationships, being abused, and I just felt like I couldn't get out of there. At this point, I didn't believe in a creator. I didn't believe in God or anything like that because of the horrible things that I had to go through. I felt like, why, if there was a God, why would I be going through such horrible things in my life? But it came to this point where I started to realize that I couldn't maintain my sanity anymore because of the dreams that I was having and because of what was happening in my everyday life. I got to this point where one day I pulled out herbs, and for us, we use sage, sweetgrass, cedar, things like that as our herbs, as our sacred medicines. So I pulled out the medicines that I had, and I said to Creator, to God, I said, if you are real, help me. I can't do this alone anymore. I am going to lose my mind with all of this. I am offering this up to you, and I'm offering my heart up to you. If you are really real, come to me and show me and help me out of this situation. I put these prayers up and that smoke up during a heavy thunderstorm. As everything, the lightning was thundering and the thunder was booming, I put all these prayers up. The next day, this giant boxer, a dog, showed up at our front door and refused to leave. His owner even showed up and he bit his owner. He refused to leave. And I thought to myself, wow, this is really strange. The night that he showed up, I had another dream. I was lost in hell and I could not find my way out. This dog showed up in my dream and he spoke to me and he said, climb on my back. So I climbed on his back and I held on tight. He then carried me up out of that dark, evil place. He found the way out for me with me on his back. And ever since that day, I have never again had those dreams, those recurring dreams of being lost in that place that was hell. Creator came to me and he listened to my prayers and showed me that it, he, she, whatever it is real. So for me, number 2 in enforcing, maintaining, empowering yourself is to ask for help from your spirit team that all of us come to this earth with. To acknowledge that there really is something else out there besides just this, just all of this that we see. Do not be afraid to ask for help and understand that many times you cannot do this on your own. And in these times of chaos and confusion that we are in now and that will continue to expand as this spiritual battle that we're all in. And I know what audience I'm speaking to right now. Your chosen ones, your warriors of light, your spiritual warriors, your indigenous warriors, your warriors of all kinds. And you've been through the ringer just like I have. If you don't ask your helpers for help, you're on your own and you can't do this on your own anymore. So put your offerings out, whether it be your tobacco, your cedar, your sage, depending on your beliefs and your traditions. You can even cook a spirit plate and put that out for help. Ask for help from your helpers. It's the only way that they can help you out of situations that you can't handle on your own. And when you understand that there's a host of ancestors and spirits and helpers walking with you, that's empowerment. And that's what we're all going to need to call upon in these times that we're in. So sending my love to all of you. I'll continue to do more videos like this. Remember, this is my only account, at Stephanie Big Eagle. Don't get scammed by all those scammers out there. Keep going. You got this.